harassment and prejudicial behavior to be documented. Okay. After the recusal of Judge Tucson, a new judge, Judge Bensonetta Tipton Lane, has been appointed to my case. It's been 3 years since the final judgment decree. Different judge, but same country club. She's basically a close personal friend of Judge Tucson and the attorneys mentioned above. Judge Lane has recently been cited in a CBS Atlanta investigation news story as a judge who takes money and favors from attorneys. Okay. I recently filed a recusal of her in which she denied my request. The grounds on recusing her were similar in regards to that not only the attorneys involved in the case have contributed to her campaign. I have continued to discover the business of divorce within the Fulton County court system is that the judges are controlled by the attorney. One example is the operation of the Family Law Institute of Georgia. This organization appears to be operating in the best interests of the family, but in fact is a means of attorneys to reinforce the relationship with judges at events such as the annual conference at expensive resorts on the coast of Georgia. As blatantly as stated in the organization's marketing materials, attorneys spend large sums of money in order to have access to judges. Pro se litigants, individuals, taxpayers have no such access to judges, have no such influence. In addition, one other organization, the Inns of the Courts of Georgia, is a separate private country club type organization with judges and attorneys get together, supposedly brainstorm on the latest and greatest issues within family court. In April of this year, Judge Tucson actually headed up a group leading attorneys on how to deal with pro se individual litigants. After asking to attend that event, because I am a pro se litigant, I was denied that access. But because they claim individuals who were not attorneys allowed to have access to that. In subsequent research, I found out that guardian ad litems attend, private investigative firms, forensic accountants, they either attend or they are part of a support organization to help fund the organization. And in reality, they're just paving the way for them to ensure that all their fees are paid for through the business of divorce. I am scheduled to appear again in court on December 18, 2012 to address additional modification of child support, which my ex-wife should be paying me, and alimony obligations due to the fact I had lost my previous job. And I'm allowed under the Georgia law to file emergency hearing, which in fact I filed over a year ago, and they were supposed to hear it immediately. And it's been over a year, and the judge has failed in her obligation to schedule this emergency hearing. The statute allows that alimony still accrues until the order is changed, which so every month that goes by, it's a tactic with the attorney as well as with the blessing of the judge, robbing me of my rights of the emergency hearing and cost me $3,500 a month, which anytime they could file a contempt of court, and if they choose to, throw me in jail because Georgia is a debtor prison state. I continue to network with various organizations such as Lawless America and the individuals who have endured similar and in some instances even worse abuse. I'm very fortunate that through my own pro se actions, I was able to, based on my son's election, which was allowed by the statute, is to obtain custody of my son, which he made the election freely and should have been honored immediately, but it took me over 14 months and $12,500 to get custody of my son with no proof whatsoever that I would not be a fit parent. In fact, my son, I talk to him every chance I get because being a veteran and have serving the country, we talk about duty, honor, and country, and what does honorable mean in terms of an honorable Judge Tucson or an honorable Judge Benson Tipton Lane. And he's looking at serving the country, and he asked me why he should serve the country. I'm addressing our U.S. representatives as well as the Georgia representatives that there needs to be an investigation. There needs to be some type of task force to focus on the judicial corruption in order to implement not so much changes. There are plenty of laws and there are plenty of canons and ethics for the accountability within the judicial system. Right now, there is no arm to hold anybody accountable in the system. On behalf of myself and the hundreds and perhaps thousands of other Georgia citizens with stories similar or worse than mine, I respect our federal government officials, our state officials, our Attorney General, to come to Atlanta, spend as much time. First, I thought a few days. I think it's going to take a few years to clean up this mess. Georgia court systems are a part of the problem. See for yourself how many of these actions has caused the destruction of many families, irreparable harm to innocent litigants, whose only mistake was to be so naive as to perceive the courts as an institution of fairness and equity, rather than the lawless bastions of unscrupulous practitioners unwillingly financed by the taxpayers who make up the large number of its victims, who come to engage in the immensely profitable business of divorce and have resulted in lawless America. Thank you.